too long, and so we are going to move on quickly. Now, I apologize for my camera. It's a little bit foggy, all right, but I hope you're able to at least see something through the frame. All right, now let me also welcome our form teachers, our subject teachers that are here, or other two grade coordinators. I am one of the grade coordinators. My name is Mrs. Murray Harris, and we also have Mrs. Spencer Ross and Miss Hyman. All right, at this time, if you wish to say something, Mrs. Spencer Ross, I'm not sure if Miss Hyman is on us yet. I know that she had classes at school today, and so it might take her a little time to get on. But at this time, Mrs. Spencer Ross, I'll open the mic to you if you wish to have a word with the parents.
Just to say good evening and thanks for joining. And I hope that it will be a productive meeting and you will get your concerns addressed.
All
That's
right.
it from me.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, at this time, we are expecting the dean to come in. I'm not seeing the dean. Let me just quickly share my program, my agenda. Just give me 1 minute, please. So let me share. All right, is Mr. Milton on? If not, then we will just move on and then come back to him afterwards. All right, so I'm not seeing Mr. Milton at all. All right, so we're going to move on. We'll get back to Mr. Milton. Hopefully he'll come during the time of the meeting. We know, parents, that this is a challenging time. It's challenging for us teachers. It's challenging for you and especially for the children. We know that it's difficult for you to monitor them when they are at home. And for some of you, you are not quite familiar with the how to navigate the Google platform. We know that that's a sore point for many parents, and therefore you're not able to adequately supervise the children. All right, you're not able to adequately monitor what they are doing. All right, and so we have organized this afternoon to just have a quick workshop, instructional session. It's nothing that's gonna be long, just to take you through the basic steps of how to navigate the platform so that you are able to go on and you are able to check for yourself, and you will know whenever the children are trying to trick you. All right, at this time, I'm gonna be handing over to you, Mr. Williamson, if you are ready for us. Just to do, Mr. Williamson will be doing a presentation on how to navigate the Google platform. Mr. Williamson?
It's Murray Harris. Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, you're here, sir. Oh, Mr. All right, so before you...
Miss.
Mr.
Oh,
Milton is
Mr.
as well.
Jadu here.
Oh, Mr. Milton is here as well. All right, so before we go into... I'm glad that you're here, gentlemen. All right, so before we go into the presentation by Mr. Williamson, let me take... All right, I'll take Mr. Jadu first and then Mr. Milton afterwards. Okay, Mr.
Yes,
Jadu,
miss.
over to you. Mr. Jadu is our guidance counselor. Is one of the guidance counselors at the school responsible for grade 9. All right, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, Mrs. Murray Harris. I always ask to speak first because you know, the internet issue at school here and everyone is actually leaving. Okay, good evening, parents. Good evening, colleagues, and thank you again, Mrs. Murray Harris. Now, students and parents, teachers, yesterday I spoke with the 9-1 to 9-3, and I'm now going to speak with the 9-4 to 9-6. Now, 3 issues I need to discuss with the parents now. 1, read the PART program. Parents, I know that many of you are concerned about the PATH program because some of your children were delisted from the program. But based on information I obtained, you can go back to the Ministry of Labor office in Spanish Town, and then you can get your child back onto the program. Once it can be proven that the child is still coming to school here. So that is what you can do. And Mrs. Francis is the one in charge of that, the other guidance counselor. She's in charge because I work closely with the grade 9. I take all the information and continue to work with them as well. Um, you also express, many parents are calling me, asking me about the gadgets. Now, where the gadgets are concerned, parents, we do not know yet when we will obtain the gadgets because what we do know is that once your child is on the PATH program, they will receive their gadgets, but we do not know when that time will be coming. Hopefully, we are praying and hoping that we will receive them sometime between December and January, because one of the major issues that the parents are having is that they don't have the gadgets for them to do the online work. But if the gadgets are not available, parents, you are reminded that you can come to the office, come to the school, and you can pick up the self-paced packages so your children can work with them. The same work that they get online is the same work that the teachers prepared, so you can come and collect same and do the work and do the work as well. Next, the vocational area. Now, students, I'm having some issues concerning the vocational area. I mean,
Here's the wrap from the X-Tip. We can take turns blowing it up. Want to start? Sure.
All right. I think Mr. Jadu got knocked off. As he said, he's at school, and we know that the internet at school is a bit shaky. All right, let me see if he's going to come back on. All right, so we're not seeing him coming back on. Are you there, Mr. Milton?
Yes, Miss, I'm here, Miss.
All right, let's give him a minute or so to see if he's going to come back in here.
He's trying to
Choose
speak, but
a
we're not
steady
hearing.
cell.
He's still
The
in the meet. I
Bluetooth
guess it's
device
the internet.
is connected successfully.
Sure what's happening. Or he has left the meeting. Samson, please close your mic. All right, so he has left the meeting. I think the internet knocked him out. Let's hope he'll join us back. All right, I'm going to turn over to you now, Mr. Milton, and then if he comes back in, then we'll put him after you.
Thank you very much, Miss.
Okay.
All right. Good afternoon to our parents, colleagues. Good afternoon, students. Now, we just want to welcome you to our PTA meeting. Now, there are a few things that I know throughout the meeting you'll be hearing
Good afternoon, sir.
teachers actually addressing some of these issues. One of which you can see here on the agenda, where it's going to be the online platform. Now, I know there are certain challenges there about and so forth, but I'm also employing our parents. If you do have issues, we are always on the school compound offering our tech support. If the child is having problem with the device or anything like that, the technical team is always at the institution ready to assist you. Now, I just want to touch quickly on the online protocol as it is related to discipline on the online class. All students must in the morning. There's not any situation where it may be. All students must sign in the morning to their form teachers area and register in the morning. Same thing in the afternoon. These records are being collected for the Ministry of Education. Also, if a child is not registering in their morning, in the devotional exercise in the morning, it is basically saying that the child is not a part of the institution. And once a farm teacher cannot give an account for the child, according to the regulation, the child can be marked off the register over a period of 30 days. So it is very important, as it is related, that these will be recorded on the child's report. It will be recorded on the child file. They must sign in the morning and in the afternoon. They must mark their names. That is a given. When they're in class, they must complete all assignment given. Every single pieces of work that is given to them must be completed and submit. Failure to do so, disciplinary sanction will be brought against them. Also, while you're in class, you must remember we have had instances where teachers would have making a report where a child having disrespectful comment, insolence to the teacher on the platform. Now, that is a zero tolerance for the institution right across the board. Once you're not behaving according to the protocol that have been set in place, the online protocol, then you will be calling for a meeting and the disciplinary action will be brought against you. Now, it's always said that you must read the school's code of conduct. That is a must, that is a given, because they are still in school. It doesn't matter if they are online or they are face-to-face. It is still teaching and learning. All right? So parents, I want also an important point that I must point out. This game that is called Free Fire. Check their devices, ensure that that is not installed to their phone, but are the devices that they're using, because that is taking up 90% of their time. And I've had instances where parents are actually reaching out because the child would have run up their credit card. So I wanted to keep on top of that, because guess what? That is taking up more of their time than actually doing any schoolwork at all. So if they are coming on the compound, they must adhere to the protocols that are set in place, listen to our security guards and all of those persons that are set in place to actually keep the safety and security aspect of the school. Once you have a problem, once you have an issue, we are always there. Mr. Jadu would have mentioned it, but I don't know what happened with the internet, but we are always here to assist. From the guidance counselor, the dean's department, from your form teacher, the entire school, we are here to assist you. So if you have any issue at all, please to reach out. Also, parents, ensure that you check with them on a daily basis to see if they're actually going to class. I know it is not easy to monitor students or monitor your child while going to work and all of that, but actually find a way how you can actually do it. Because I know it is for them, and they have to understand that, listen, the new normal is actually in place. So while we're here to assist, we can do all that we can, but there must be a part must be played by the students and the parents. All right. Again, if you need to reach out to the Dean's Department having any issue at all, you can always come to the office. We are here Monday to Friday, always present at school. All right, parents? All right, so I'm going to just let you know that whatever you do, just always reach out if you have any issue. We're always here, and I cannot reiterate that enough, to assist. I am seeing now where we have to setting up a program in place to find students, right? And some of these issues is not like the addresses that are on the file. When you're filling out the registration form, the addresses are not matching up, right? So that is one of the key issues that we're having. When we reflect back on the file, we cannot actually do a home visit because we drive out the entire community and cannot find the home. So even the simple registration form, pay keen attention to that, all right? Miss Moore Harris, over back to you. God bless your parents. Have a productive evening.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Milton. All right, and that is the one of our deans at this school. All right, I'm going to check back. Is Mr. Jadu on? Mr. Jadu, did you come back on? All right, so we're still not seeing him. Okay, at this time, we're going to move on to you, Mr. Williamson. Are you ready for us, sir?
I am here. Yeah, man, I'm ready to
Okay.
go.
All right, so I'm going to stop sharing to allow you to share.
No problem. Okay, parents, good afternoon. This is mainly for you. I know your child might understand certain things about the platform already, but this is just a quick demonstration how to navigate the platform. All right, it can be tedious. You know, some of the adults are a bit fear of the whole technology thing, but in these times, you cannot be afraid. You cannot run away from what is happening now. This is the norm, as the dean has said, and you have to try and adapt to the situation. Okay, so I will do a quick demonstration how to go on and look around. And my suggestion to you, the best time to go on to see what your child is doing, it's class time. Obviously, you need to be away from them and check the timetable and go on during class time. Now I am on a blank Google page here. I am doing this as if I am using a laptop. I'm going to do a quick thing. It's as if I'm using a phone or a tablet, because they both have the same setup look. But you would click on, just follow the mouse, you would click on whatever letter is here. Add another account. This is basic stuff. Then of course you would need the government email from the child and also the password. So you put the email in and you move on, put the password in and you move on. All right, and once everything is on, then you would be back on this page. As I said, this is how a PC looks, a laptop looks. And it's best to use a Chrome browser. Always use a Chrome browser. It's best. Chrome works with Google, and as you know, it's called Google Classroom. And Google is who created Chrome. So it's best to use the Chrome browser. There are other browsers that can work, but better integration with the Chrome browser. All right, then once you're here, if you look at these millions of dots to the corner, you click and you see many options, and you see Gmail, Drive, Google Classroom, and this is what you mainly need, the Google Classroom. So once you have put in the student's information, your child information, you come here and you click the Google Classroom. So I am logging in as a child, right? So what you're seeing is from one of my form students. I have their login information and I am basically looking at it as one of them. So you will see something pop up like this. Now, these are the different classrooms. Now, let's say they have music at the time. That is my subject here. So you come down, look for music. So you scroll through. Here you go, music. You click on the teacher's thing. And based on the time, first thing you need to do is read the stream. This is the stream. See what the teacher had posted. There you go. Right? This is what you call the stream. Teacher might post things there, might not, but just glance around, see if there's anything in relevance. Now, based on the class that I had, you realize I put join the G Meet at so-and-so time, and then there are some other things here. These are the actual work that was posted today by myself. I am the teacher, of course, of this class, right? So you can click in and look to see what is needed. This is saying upload something here. What do the child need to upload? So you probably need to scroll down a little bit more. See, class note. Please write out the following notes, take pictures and upload. This was an instruction I gave to them. And they would have write off, simple instruction, write off in their notebook and take pictures. All right. Of course, the instruction says take pictures of the notes and upload. So right there and then you would scroll back for the upload and see if that child would have uploaded anything. And based on the child information that I'm using, I am not seeing where the child has uploaded anything from my class. Right? As you can see here, it says to the right, as I said, follow the mouse, add or create. So you click add, they would click add, and they would have upload. So you're basically looking what the child would have done. Right? I have not seen anything. That means this particular child would have not uploaded any work for me to look on or to comment on in this scenario. So I'm backing out a little bit. Now, on the top here, you see three things. The stream is where teachers post little snippets of what they might want the student to do. To the left here, you might see join. Now, this is what is called the G Meet. So if a class is, if the teacher is on, they will click. And of course, once the teacher is there, they would join, right? It says no one is there, so they can't join. Of course, because I'm just demonstrating. All right, so you can quickly join and glance around and see if you see the name of your child. Quickly. And then, of course, you can back out as long as the teacher is on. Okay, so I'll pop back out. All right, so at the top, you have three main headings. The stream, classwork. Classwork means work that teacher might have posted. I'm going to click that section. And as you can see, there are some stuff that was posted and the time and the date is there. This was an activity I would have given. So click around, glance to see if the child would have completed anything. And I am not seeing anything for this child as well. See, right here it says typed, and I am not seeing anything that this child would have completed. Right here, based on this child thing. So right there, you can look to see what the child has done. Looking again, this is another activity. Let me see if the child would have uploaded anything. There, so it's also blank. The child has not uploaded anything. Scrolling down, I hope parents kind of see what is happening right in front of your eyes. Looking at another activity. This child still has not done anything on this activity. And this work was posted. This is activity 2. Let me see if I can tell. Come on. It's not telling me. But if you go in the stream, you will see. If you go back to the stream, you will see where the work would have been, what date and time the work would have been posted. Oh, all right. I just saw something here. All right, there's activity 1. Type your answer here. There's nothing there. So basically, this child has not done any of my activity. As simple as that. And this child is in my class, and he has not done any of my activity. So basically, that's what you see from this exercise. All right, and then these are the students that are in the class, which is not of importance. So the main thing is the classwork section and the stream section. And the stream section would have tell you exactly when each work would have been posted. So this was posted at 9 something. Scrolling down, this was posted November 17, and so for November 10. I don't need to go. It's just a quick navigational guide. So this is how the laptop scenario looks, right, when you go on. Okay, so I am going to stop sharing this laptop scenario. And I am now going to share from a tablet. So if the child is using a phone or a tablet, it generally looks the same way. Phone tablets looks rather similar. Okay, so this is my tablet screen I am on. So of course, for the tablet now, you would download the Google Meet app, the Google Classroom, and one more thing, the Gmail. Make sure those things are on your device, parents. Right? So those are apps that, as you can see, I'm showing you my app screen. This is it. As you can see, this is the Gmeet, the Google Meet app, Google Classroom, and the Gmail app is somewhere. So I'm just gonna simply pop in. That's the first thing you do, pop into the Google Classroom. I am on, this is actually my personal, my teaching account. But when you popped in, you might see a blank thing. First thing you need to do, click up here at the top, just like in the other one, where you can get to add your account. So let me click, and you add your account, and you follow the instructions. Similar. And you can, you can ask your child to help. Anyway, I won't add an account, but just showing you a quick process. All right, so I'm backing out. So you follow the process and you add your account. And once you have added the account, then of course you would see the classrooms populated, quite similar to what was happening on the laptop. But of course they are falling one below the other. All right, so let's go back to the music class that I was on. Let me see if I can find this. There we go, music class. So I'm now clicking on, and this is my classroom. Now for the tablet, when they want to go on the phone, when they want to go on the Google Meet, they would click this little icon at the top. If you look at it, you see me pressing something, right? This little icon, that is what they would click to go on the Google Meet, so that they can hear what the teacher is saying. Of course, I won't be going on the Google Meet. All right, and you follow the process and you join. All right, and also down towards the bottom, you see this the main three headings that was in the other laptop scenario, where you see the stream, you would see the classwork, and you would see name of the people, students who are in their class. So we are literally on the stream now, and the classwork, these are the classwork. So it's a rather similar exercise to what was on the laptop. It's just that it is more condensed, and you can go and click on each activity to see if the child has done anything or the child have posted any work. I hope that was just a quick scenario of how to manipulate the platform. Somebody want to say something?
All right, please close your mic, Romain Gray, or
Yes,
whoever.
please. So yes, parents, it's just a quick navigation. And of course, for my parents, my 9-5 farm parents, if you have challenges, you can simply ask. You can text me, you can communicate with me. And sir, I mean, remember how you say you do that something here. No problem. I have no problem in guiding you how to do the work, into finding the child's work or whatever the child has done. Okay, so that's basically it. That's just a quick navigational guide. You can go and look around. Don't delete anything. Just look. Try not to press delete. Just look around and see. And if you're lost, you can always check on your farm teacher to help you to navigate. All right. So that's it for me for now.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Williams. So now I saw some questions going up. We are going to have a question and answer session at the end. So any questions you have that we are able to answer today, then we will. I'm seeing where somebody, Edwards, is asking about classes. That might be something that we will have to address outside of this meeting. All right. I saw Mr. Jadu earlier. Are you still on, sir?
Yes, miss, I'm back. The internet
All
went.
right. Yes, welcome back.
Okay, you
Go
want me to
ahead,
complete
Mr. Jadu.
my...
Yes, over to you. Continue.
All right, let me complete what I was saying. Okay, parents, thank you again. Now, I was speaking on the matter of vocational areas. And I was saying that some of the students in 9-4, just a few, 9-5 and 9-6, are not yet placed. I would have spoken with you a few months ago, and even as of recent times, I would have gone into devotion and express our concerns about the students in their vocational areas. Because what happened is that since September, when the students left from grade 9 and went into grade 10, the grade 10 coordinators were having some difficulties because many of them, they were not placed, and it created a major problem. And it's not a matter of they did not place. What happened is that they did not attend the classes. And parents, I even see in the chat where one person is saying that his child is not receiving all the classes. But, you know, as Miss said, it's something would have to be discussed outside of this particular forum. But parents, please ensure that your child and, you know, they are placed in the vocational area. Um, if you notice that there are no placement, then you know how to contact me. You have my number, you have my contact, so you can contact me, because I did ask that you come in, speak with us. Because what we have done also, we have given the students the forms. Some of them did not fill them out. And some students even went into other vocational areas without us knowing, and we need to know, because we want to ensure that we would have placed everyone in their vocational area. So I'm hoping that by the end of this term, every single grade 9 student is placed. So when we reach grade 10, you will not have that particular problem. As to what I mentioned before concerning the previous grade 9 going to grade 10, and it created problem for the grade 10 coordinators, because it was very challenging for them. But we try to do whatever we can to assist. Parents, please be reminded that if your child, if you have known gadgets, please come in and collect the self-placed folders. They are prepared and they are here for you to collect same, because the teachers have done that. Now, I noticed that parents we are well aware of the many challenging situations that you are facing presently. And, you know, we're still in the pandemic, but we are hoping that, I know that some of the students express concern that they cannot manage it online. And so we are hoping that come January, things will be a little bit better in terms of you guys coming back to school. So we are hoping and praying for that. So please bear these issues in mind. Let me remind you one more time that we are still waiting on the gadgets, especially those who are on the PART program. Once the gadgets arrive, then you'll be informed and you'll get your gadgets so the students can be assisted. Now, just a little token for the parents for grade 9. Well, from grade 7 to grade 13, we're going to have your annual Parent Day program, which will be held next Tuesday morning from 8:30 to 10 a.m. Parents, not everyone can be invited, but the grade coordinators, you know, I indicated to them that they need to ask the class rep to come in face to face. So we will have face to face, and on Zoom, the grade coordinators will also send the link to the parents so that wherever you are, once you're online, then you can view the program. Just a little, as I said before, you know, it's your annual Parent Day program, but we cannot accommodate everybody because we still have to maintain the protocol, right? So, and what happened is that the Past Student Association, they will be here to address some issues in terms of gadgets to see how best they can assist 1 and 2 parents. They have done it before, and you know, they want to come in and bring greetings and see how best they can assist them, and even 2 or 3 more parents with gadget. So, you know, on our side here, we are trying to do our very best to work with the parents, because I know your concern, I know your issues. So next week, Tuesday morning, from 8:30 to 10, will be your Parent Day program, annual Parent Day program. I'm asking parents, please, to join in. The parents will be coming in. Most of them, they are the class representative. You know, we ask probably about 5 or 6 to come in, because we can accommodate probably about 30, 35 parents, because of the situation. If it was before the pandemic, then all of you could come, but the concern that we have. So parents, please work with us, work with the teachers, ensure that the children go online and get their classes going. You just received some information from Mr. Williams as to how you can check. So work with us while we work with you in this challenging time. So thank you for listening and thank you for your understanding and continue to work with us. If there are any questions, the great coordinator, Miss Murray Harris, Miss Spencer, Mrs. Hyman, they will take them and they will bring them to me. So because we all work together for the good of your children and yourself as well. Thank you for listening, parents and teachers. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Jadu. Thank you for that comprehensive explanation. All right. So we're going to move on to look at attendance at class and registration. Mr. Milton did touch on some of that, but I just want to add some more information that I also have. All right, so registration is very important, parents, and this is something that we are having a major issue with. All right, registration, we have registration twice per day. The school day has 2 sessions, right? We have a morning session and we have an afternoon session. Now, children need to log on into their form room at 8 o'clock. Between 8 o'clock and 8:30, that's where we have devotion and we have registration. So the form teachers are there, they will share the devotion in the form rooms and they mark their names at that time. In the afternoon, for Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, registration is at 2:50. So between 2:50 and 2:30, the students are expected to log back into their form room and mark their names. We are having a major issues where for some classes where you have 30, almost 40 students, maybe 10 going in to mark their names. Now, this will be reflected on the reports, as Mr. Milton said, and some of you might be a little bit shocked when you see the reports because you might say, but my child is on every day. My child is online every day. Yet when you receive that report, which is a permanent record, you will see absent. You'll see quite a number of absent. So even if they're going to classes, if they're not marking the names, they're going to be marked absent. If they mark only in the morning and don't go and mark the names in the afternoon, there will only be marked for 1 session. All right, because the day has 2 sessions. So we are imploring you parents to just get them out of bed. Let them get up early. If they were going to school, they would be out of bed. They would have taken a shower, got dressed, have breakfast, and be off to school. Get them out of bed, ensure that they go and mark their names, participate in the devotion, and get ready for classes. Now, in terms of classes, also we are having an issue, and some classes more than others. I know for the vocational areas, that's my area, and we are having major issues with that, where some students do not, absolutely not log in on at all. They don't come to any class at all. I've had to post names in the parents group and ask parents to call me individually. All right, 2 parents called me out of about 8. So we're having issues with class attendance. We are losing our children. If the children are not going to class, I am very concerned that what's going to happen to them when they go back face to face. A lot of them are going to be so far behind. All right, this is a platform that we have to work with, and so we have to make the best use of it. Another issue that we're having too is that they will come on, they will turn on the device, but they are not there. All right, so if you're at home, parents, please watch that. I know for some parents it's difficult because you have to go out to work in the days, and so it's difficult for you to monitor them. But some of them will turn on the device, and as a teacher, you see, okay, John Brown is on. But when I call and ask John Brown a question, there's no sound. And throughout the lesson, I'm calling on him, there's no response. Because what happened is that he turn on the device, and is gone somewhere else. All right? So he's not hearing anything, not seeing anything, not learning anything. Another problem we have also is that some of them will log in and log out and log in and log out. And yes, we know that for some persons, that's a genuine issue where there might be some internet issues that they're having. And so they're logging in and out. But for some students, we know that they're using that as an excuse to go in and out of classes. So we're asking you, please, to check on that. Make sure that if they are in class, that they remain in class. All right? There are some things that you can do and you can do to help us parents. One of the things that we wanted to do is to get the children up in the mornings. All right, get them up, get out of bed. Don't lie in bed and turn on the tablet and go on to class. Because right there, they're not going to be learning. They're still tired and weary, so they need to get out of bed, have a shower. All right, move away from the bed and sit down around a desk or table on a chair somewhere away from the bed where they can focus. And remember, we begin at 8 o'clock, all right? If they were at school, as I said, they would have walked, taken the bus, gone into school, all right? And so we need to practice this at home as well. Another thing that we are going to ask you to do also, parents, is I know sometimes it's tempting because they're sitting right there, you know, I need something out the shop. So you might want to take him up and send him to go and buy something, or the dishes need to be washed and so on. So you might want to take him out of class to go and do that. We are imploring you, please, just allow them when it's school time, let them sit around the desk, focus on the school work, listen and learn, all right? Any chores, they can do that lunchtime or after school, because we know that if it was school time, then we would not be removing them from classes, all right? So we are begging you in that regard. Again, one other thing that we have an issue too, and this is for some persons, and we know that for some persons it might be difficult depending on your location. Background noise, I've had issues with this, so we want to minimize that as much as possible. So where possible, maybe find a little room where there's not too much noise around them, where they can focus, all right? We know that for some persons, you might be near to a public area, or sometimes construction is going on next door, and so on. But as much as possible, find a quiet area so that they can focus and ensure that they remain in class, all right? Monitor and give encouragement as much as possible. It's difficult. We know it's difficult as teachers. It's difficult for us to sit around the computer, and we know it's the same thing for them, all right? So monitor them, give them encouragement as much as possible. Maybe even sit down sometimes while they're learning, you're actually learning. I'll share with you, we were doing resume writing. I was in a grade 11 class, and the mother was sitting there. The mother was there because she said, Miss, I'm writing my resume too, all right? And she wrote her resume and she asked me to check on it too. So as much as possible, I know for some parents, this is difficult because you have to go out to work, all right? But if you're at home, monitor them as much as possible, all right? All right, so I'm going to be moving on to the RenWeb grading system. Let me just slide on. I think I put it at the bottom down here. Okay. All right, so we're looking at the RenWeb grading system, or the school's grading system. All right, so the school has a 3-part grading system. Students are graded on homework, project or classwork, and test. All right, and when those are added up, the total is 100. Now the homework is 15%. Project or classwork, that's 25%. And the test, 60%. All right, so the total will be 100. Now, prior to now, what used to happen is that the school had a policy of every month. So every month, for every class, the child would have to do one piece of homework, one project, one test. And that would be done for all the subjects that the child is doing. Now, in order to reduce the volume of work that the children have, the school has changed that policy where they say at least 2 pieces of homework, project, or classwork each term. So for each term, where maybe they would be getting 4 pieces if you have 4 months in the term, now they're only getting 2. Now, again, this depends on teachers, because some teachers might decide, okay, I can give more than just 2 pieces of homework for the term. All right, or I want to give more than that project. I know for myself that I assess my children regularly. All right, and so it's all dependent on the teacher. Do not say that, but the school policies that is only 2 is supposed to get, right? It's all dependent on the teacher. Each teacher knows his or her subject area and knows what they can accomplish within that time frame. All right, so it's totally up to the teacher, but this is the policy of the school, at least. This is the important part, at least. So it doesn't say it has to be 2, it says at least. Again, tests were monthly. We no longer have monthly tests. We have 6 weeks tests. So every 6 weeks, a teacher would give a test. All right, for this term, it's 2 tests. All right, 1 in October, 1 in December, I think. Yes. So 1 in October, 1 in December. All right. The progress report, you will be receiving a progress report in March for your children. And at the end of the school year in June, they will do a major examination. So we're not going to have an examination at the mid-year. We are going to have the major examination at the end of the school year, which is June. All right, and so you will get a report that includes all of that. Now, let me just say, parents, every piece of work counts. Every single piece of work counts. If a child misses out on a piece of work, that's a 0. That's going to pull down the average. And you might say, oh, but my child always get the 90s. I remember hearing that, I think it was last year. My child always get 90s, or my child always get 80s, but all the average is 60. All right, what happened is that the child missed something. The child did not do a piece of work, and that 0 is going to pull the average way down. So we encourage you to check, make sure that they are doing all the work that is given to them. All right. Check on them in the evenings when you come out. Mr. Williamson did a comprehensive explanation a while ago. Thank you again, Mr. Williamson. All right. And for some of you who might not be sure still, sometimes you say, bring the tablet. Go to your classroom. They can open it up and show you. Show me your classroom. You go into their classroom. You click on it. All right, show me maths. This is a maths class. Open up the maths. All right, you'll see there the assignments that the teacher gave. You'll see the ones that the child did. And if it's graded, you'll see the grade there. You'll see the ones that are still outstanding. All right. And the ones that they need to, get out ahead with and start doing. All right, so we want to encourage you to do that. We know that at night you might be tired, you've had a long day, and you really just want to go home and rest, but sit on the chair, we're watching TV, bring the phone, bring the tablet, and just scroll through, and you can check. Find out, why is this piece of work not done? All right, what is happening here? And our children are very smart, and so they will come up with all kinds of excuses. Maybe they will say, Mommy, the internet wasn't working at the time, and so on. But you have to be persistent. All right? All right. Let me see if there's anything in particular that I left off here. All right. So at this time, we will answer all questions at the end. But at this time, I'm going to ask, is Miss Iman on? Mrs. Spencer Ross, are you seeing her?
Yes, I'm here, Miss.
Okay, so at this time, we are going to be turning over to Mrs. Iman, who will take us through the grade 9 talent competition. All right, over to you, Mrs. Iman. Mrs. Iman is one of the grade supervisors for grade 9.
Thank you, Mrs. Murray Harris. Good afternoon, parents, students, colleagues. Okay, last week we launched, or the week before last, we launched the grade 9 talent competition. I'm also the culture agent for the school, meaning that I am involved in developing the programs for music, dance, and drama. Hence, you will always see me be a part of these competitions. We want to instill in the students
All right, your mic is muted, Miss Emma. Let's see where it's.
Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So we decided that we would launch out with a cultural competition in, enhancing and promoting talent across grade 9. Now, the talent competition has to do with those who can sing, dance, play an instrument, whatever talent that they have, we will be looking at. So we want to culminate this competition at the end of this term, having a nice little concert online, of course, and the students, competing among themselves, showing off what they have. Therefore, the competition, they would have to upload a video showcasing their talent piece, and the judges will be judging. The grade 9s will be competing among their talent piece, so those who can sing will be placed together and so on. And then we will be picking from that the top pieces, as well as we will be looking at the top grade 9, which grade 9 carried the most talent pieces. They'll be competing among themselves in terms of earning points for their form class. So at the end of the day, we'll be giving out gifts, trophies, all of that. We are also asking for parents to, assist us in getting these trophies and gifts and so on. So anybody who is here who can sponsor our competition, we are open to suggestions and to offers. All right. So all the grade 9s, I think it's the end of this week, Friday, we should be looking on those videos. They should be uploading them. The videos should be clear, and the lighting and all of that. We'll be looking on all of that. So students, I hope that you are uploading your videos. Mr. Williamson, you're here. Mr. Williamson, he's not here. He's gone.
I'm seeing him on, but
I am here.
Yes, Mr. Williamson. Do you want to pitch? Now, Mr. Williamson is also on my team. We have a committee that we'll be working with. Mr. Williamson is the head music director at school, choir director. His music. Okay. So, anything you want to add? Read the competition, Mr. Williamson. You may go ahead.
Just to parents encourage them for my farm class. Really, I've not forced them in doing anything, because at the end of the day, it's for their own benefit.
Right.
Normally, I would have impressed on them. Come on, guys, do this, do that, do this, do that. But for the competition, I did not force them, because it's for their own thing. But you, as the parent, now you'd have to encourage them, because you see they are kind of have this lazy mentality, because they're home and it's all easy for them, so they don't want to do anything. But you have to encourage them, because at the end of the day, it is still school. Even though we are online, it is still school.
Right.
They can participate and try to have fun.
Yes, having fun and letting down the here. We know that the online system here has been pressuring a lot of them. And I think this is a good way of relaxation and getting to know each other too, getting to learn and socialize. Another thing that I must insist on, get your children involved in clubs. This is one way of finding out their talents or getting them interested in different areas, because these are the requirements. We know that we'll always look on academic achievements, but we are moving very, very, very much away from only a child who is considered to be, as they say, bright. The child must be rounded. So any scholarship offers that are now coming to children and coming to the students, their CXC is going to tertiary institutions. I am the one every year who most of these students and Mr. Williams and the other performing arts teachers, they have to go to say, yes, we were involved in clubs, we were involved in societies, we did something outside of academic achievement. So that's another thing they must pay attention to. I think one of the requirements at grade 11 too for graduation, you must be involved in a club. So here this is where it starts, right? Getting involved in the competition, knowing, feeling out what you're capable of doing. Some of our children are they are introverts. In other words, they don't like to speak. They are very shy. This will help them. This will help them because I teach language and literature at the CXC level, English language, and you know that most, if not all, of these students will have to do English language at grade 11. They are going to be required to do what we call oral part of the exam, which they have to stand in front of judges and markers, examiners, and they are marked for whatever they are presenting. So this is a good way of getting them, you know, self-esteem built and know that they can do this thing when they get to grade 11. So please, I'm asking parents to be a part of this too. Assist your children, you know what they are good at, encourage them, and I hope this will turn out to be a good one. All right, thank you.
One final thing, Miss, as relates to the different things that they can enter. You know,
Right.
of course, the normal singing, dancing, acting, DJ, rapping. But what about if they're a selector? Yes, they can. There's an option where they can type in whatever they want. What if they are a footballer and they want to create a video showing their skills on the
Their
football?
skills,
They
right.
can. That is
Right.
part of
Very
the
good.
talenting as well. Okay,
As
so
we say, whatever as long as it is, it is something that can be judged on a basis of being a talent, we will be looking at it. So send in your videos. Everything will be done virtually because we know that we are not yet back face to face. Send in your videos. Some of these students, we can choose from them because we have our performing arts groups, dance, drama, and music at school. So sometimes this is the way we sort of do a little, you know, selection, and we urge students, say, yes, man, you have a talent. Come out and work on it. All right? All right, over to you now, Miss.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Hyman and Mr. Williamson, for that. Grade 9 is filled with talent, and we see that coming up whenever we have devotions where they have to present. We see the talent. So parents, don't let them sit on the talent. Pull it out of them, because some of them, that becomes their career later on. All right, so just encourage them to participate. All right, so at this time, I'm going to open the meeting to any subject teacher that is here that has an issue that they want to discuss. Form teacher as well. Is there anything in particular that you want to speak about at this time?
I'll start off, Miss.
Okay.
As I said, I teach literature, English literature to 9-4 and 9-6. My main issue, I'm seeing the same thing that Miss spoke about earlier on and other teachers. Some of the students are still not joining my classes, especially 9-6. Major absences. I'm seeing a few students, very few, out of the number that are registered for the class. So I am asking, imploring, almost begging the parents, please pay attention to the subjects that the students are signing into daily, because at the end of the day, some of them will tell you that they have not been invited to classes. I saw one name a while ago, and I know that young man well. I've invited him. He has given us his email, and we have invited him. And I am seeing where his parent is saying that he's still not in some of his classes. So I don't know what the case is. I don't think he is coming to my class either. So that needs to be sorted out. Students, parents as well, please check their emails. Some of the students are not looking in their emails when the teachers invite them to classes, as well as do not wait sometimes to see the link. You can go in, ask the form teachers, Miss, I am not getting into this class. Any student here knows the class code, that will be given to you. As long as you have the class code, you can get in. When you get in, then you can speak to the teacher and say that I wasn't invited, and the teacher will send you an invitation. We are realizing that students keep saying this, and when you go into where we invite students, you see their names, their emails are very correct, and we have invited them from, as they say, Wapikil Philo. We invite them from September. Some of them come in. Some of them come in at a certain time. Let me tell you when they come in. Whenever we're saying that we're going to have a test for a normal class, say for 9-4 or 9-6, let me use 9-6. 9-6, I see about, I don't think I go over 10 students. But when when I state that I'll be having a test, then I see the numbers go up. So that must raise a question. If these students are saying they are not seeing the teacher, how is it that they can come in when there's a test? How is it that they can come in when there's exam? So parents, you need to listen and know and do your own investigations, please, before you sort of come and get at the teachers and say you're not getting through, because some of these students know what to do to spin you around. They know that some of us don't know about the technology, and they spin and they weave, and when they know it's time for exams and so on, and the teachers will meet with the parents and start to tell a lot of, give a lot of excuses. I won't go into even saying lies, but it might come down to that. They come in at times, they just refuse to go to certain classes. Most of my classes for 9-4, 9-6, it's in the afternoon. What I do, I go to check when they are going back to registration. The form teachers are here to attest. When I go to registration, half of those who I see at registration are not in my class. And nobody says anything about them not able to come in. So they are doing this, they know which classes they want to go to, and they use certain excuses. So I'm asking the parents to check up, ask them if they're doing, look on the list of subjects that they're doing, and see that they're in all of those classes from September. Another thing for literature, most of the students do not buy their textbooks. They don't own a textbook. We have to be finding ways above and beyond what we are supposed to do as teachers, right? It's very difficult to go and download and get the chapters from a book to put up for the students. We have to be doing that. So we are asking the parents, please, for literature, you don't rent books. You know that from grade 7. So I'm asking you to get the textbooks. We are presently using 2 textbooks. World of Prose, that's where we get the short stories. World of Poetry, that's where we get the poems. And next year, we are going to look on, come January, we're going to do a novel called The Adventures of Big Rat. All of that is posted from September. It's on your book list, sorry. that you collected from the school in September. So everything is there. So please go back and look on it. Ask your child or children what are they using, because if they don't have the tool, they cannot survive in the class, because they are over one side, they are listening sometimes to put up the stories, and I'm here busy reading and discussing, and children even still do not pay any attention. So ensure that they have their books. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Miss Simon. Mrs. Simon. Miss Williams, I see your hand is up. Go ahead, Miss Williams.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miss Williams. I teach integrated science to students ranging from 9-1 to 9-8. I teach Pathway 2. I have Pathway 2 on a Monday and on a Tuesday. On Monday, so in total, I have 41 students in the class. And on Monday, I have 17 students present. On Tuesday, I'm talking this week, so we're just mentioning only for this week. On Tuesday, I have 6 students present, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another problem besides attendance is when I am trying to interact with the student, asking them questions, trying to get a feedback as to if the content is understood, students' mic are closed. And sometimes when I know that mics are working is when someone accidentally turn on their mic and you hear the background and you hear all sorts of show, moving, noise, song, everything going on in the background. And some other students will say, so in addition to the one person who unmute the mic accidentally, some other one say, like call the other person name and say, unmute your mic. So there's 2 things I learned from that. More than one student mics are working, so it's not just me. The next thing I have is that students do not turn in work. For a Pathway 2 group and the integrated, the science department have group students with according to the average. And I was expecting a better interaction with grade 9 Pathway 2 group 1. And the first thing I do is check the participants in the meeting, look for the names, and I'm not seeing a lot of the parents who I would love to see. Yesterday it was a better feeling and I could not get a chance to talk to those parents, but it's the same thing you're going to be hearing from your parents. Students are not doing what they should be doing. They come to the meeting and they're just there in terms of the phone is in the meeting and you call on a name and nobody answers you. You ask them if they understand the content, nobody answers you. So I'm there talking to myself and I do that a lot. So if any parent is in this meeting now and would have heard me teaching, I talk to myself a lot. And it is frustrating, and you see the grade, how you can get your child getting the best possible grades and students are just not turning in the work. So again, parents, I know that you have to be working. I'm a parent as well, but you have to be monitoring your child. Because if it is that, and I have my own child who's telling me a lot of stories, to believe it or not. And sometimes I'm tempted to believe until I double check. So I'm in the system and he's trying to cheat me. So we have to be vigilant and double check, triple check too. All right, so that's all I have to say. I want to make it go on record that I've been attending classes with grade 9 Pathway 2 group 1, and yesterday was very frustrating. 6 students, 3 was waiting for me at the beginning of the class because I was in another meeting with some other student. 3 was waiting, and by the end of the class, 3 more came, and that was it, 6 students. That's not a good look. Thank you, Miss.
All right, thank you, Miss Williamson. And I'm sure many of us share in that regard because we're having the same issue. I see Portia Cassell. Hand is up. Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. You're hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Yes, I have a quick question to ask. I understood what the teacher was saying from before, but I'm asking in regards to one of my, I'm in the meeting for my brother, Jaron Gordon. The problem that I'm having though at home is that I don't know, my mommy don't know how to maneuver the classroom and all of this. So most times when I come home from work, I'm the one that's trying to check up on work to make sure he turning his work. So sometimes he has a lot of work that are turning late because of this. But the problem I'm having, he's saying that, I'm not sure if this is true, that sometimes the teachers don't show up to the classes and then afterwards they get the work and he doesn't understand what is being done. So I'm finding it a bit frustrating that I have to be the one trying to teach him stuff so he can answer the questions correctly, so he can actually be turned in. So I'm wondering if this is true. I don't know if any other parents are facing the same problem, but I'm having a bit of challenge when it comes down to that.
Oh, all right. Thank you for that question. Now, we have to understand that a lot of times the children will use their heads on me, on you as parents. I know that for some of my students, they go straight into Google Classroom and they do the work from there. The meet is happening where we're having discussion and I'm there teaching. They're not coming into that area. They're not coming into the meet, but they go into the classroom and then they'll do the assignment from there. And when they submit the assignment, it is incorrect because they did not come to class to get the instructions. All right. Now, even though I can't swear for all teachers, I'm sure that most of us do have our meet sessions where we go in and we explain to students what needs to be done. We have to be careful when it comes to the children because I am aware that many of them, sometimes they use their head on us. All right. So I don't know if any other teacher want to address that issue. Anybody else?
Just to answer, the only time a teacher might not be present at class, and I can vouch for that, is if the teacher has problems with the system, the teacher is absent for that day, or a teacher has left and we are waiting on another teacher to be hired, or at this time some of us teach grade 11s and grade 11s are face-to-face. Hence, if we are not where the device is because we are going on the road to school, then work will be left. So those are the only times I know that a teacher would be absent. So the teacher would have left a message to say, students, the device might not be working, my Wi-Fi might not be working. Please ensure that you complete this work, or I will be at school face-to-face, and that is a problem. The other day, we did not have a language teacher for like about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and work was left. We have now gotten one since about a month ago. So I know the teacher is there. So those are the only times we would say that a teacher is not present per se in class. So I don't know of teachers just leaving work and not explaining. Thank you.
All right.
Excuse me, but like, don't we have the teacher's contact number where we can call them and ask if they were present?
Pardon? Can you repeat? I didn't hear that.
Don't we have the teacher's contact number? So if they don't show up, we can call them and ask what is it, because I don't.
We cannot give out teachers' numbers like that because, as you know, those are the private numbers. But I suggest you go into the Google Classroom and you see what is happening. If there's an issue with a teacher, what you can also do is pass on the information to the form teacher, and then we will check to see what is happening. But we have to always be aware of the fact that there are students who are not attending class. They're just not going. All right. And while I'm on that, let me just call some names. I'm going to ask if you hear a name called, then you contact me. I will type my name, my number in the chat, and you can contact me. All right. Azani Christie. Azani Christie, Tamika Thomas, Jessica Lewis, Christopher Campbell, Talia Delahaye, Chanel Dyer, Shaquille Francis, Onisha Wallace, Sienna Casco. If you hear your child's name right there, I'm going to ask that you please contact me. Parents, we're having major issues, and the children they are very smart. They are very smart, and sometimes they'll say the teacher is not here, the teacher is not coming to class, when teachers are in class. Teachers are in class and they have 2 students teaching, 3 students teaching. All right. The other day I called a parent and she said she gives a child device and spends $6,000 every month, and that child has never been to a class for me. All right. So we have to be very, very careful in that regard. All right. So I'm seeing where Miss Elena Bishop, your hand is up as well.
Hello, good evening.
Good afternoon. Good evening. Yes.
Yes, Eliana is my daughter. I'm using her device. Yes.
Okay.
So the other lady that spoke about teachers not coming to class, I'm at home with my child. So I know when she says teachers, I'm here and I check our device and I sit down and I wait and I wait and I wait some time. I'm saying, what is happening? 8th grade was much better with teachers. Teachers are always present. They had problem with students coming. But now it's like 9th grade is a little bit different. I'm seeing where teachers are not showing. And I'm not, definitely teachers are not showing because I'm here. And I saw it and I check it for myself. And I sit down with the device and I watched it for myself. And I see that teachers sometimes do not show. And sometimes she get work and she says she don't understand because the teacher don't teach it yet. And then I'm sitting there trying to figure it out with her. And I said, maybe you have to wait until the teacher come to class and teach it, because one teacher specifically tell them that when she send work, don't do it before she teach it. So I said, if they don't come to class and they don't teach it, then don't do it until they teach it, because I don't want you to get into any trouble with any teacher saying that you're doing their work early before the time come, because maybe they have some problem or issue. So when she says that, and the child says it, sometimes teachers do not show. I'm here at home and I see it for myself, because I check it for myself. When the teachers are there, fine. And I realize the teachers do have issues with sometimes the students not speaking in class, because I hear teachers say, hey, am I speaking to myself? So I hear all of those issues and complaints that teachers are saying also. And when I look sometimes and I look in the classroom, when I look, it's sometimes 2 students in a classroom or 4 students in a classroom, and I see all of those issues as well. So when she said that the child said the teacher don't come, and sometimes it is actually true, because I'm here at home and I see it for myself.
All right, so we cannot generalize and say it is so all the time, but what I suggest you do is, where you're having an issue like that, you look at the subject and maybe pass on the information. So we'll find out what it directly is happening, because sometimes there are genuine cases where persons might be having internet issues, or as Mr. Simon said, sometimes teachers are at school because grade 11s are there, grade 12 and 13, and the internet from school sometimes is not adequate for you to log into your class and deliver a lesson from there. So there are a number of issues. So if it's a recurring issue, then maybe you can take the name down and we will check to see what is happening directly with that particular class. All right. All right. I'm seeing Miss Karine Sharp. Our parents of Karine Sharp. All right. So the student's name, sorry about that. The student's name are there, and so I tend to be calling the student's name. But what you can do is type your name if you wish, and I will call on you. All right. Go ahead.
All right. A pleasant good evening to all teachers and parents. I'm Kwame's mommy, and I have a major issue. The vocational area classes. My son wasn't placed in the classes until late, and when the time comes and he plays in that class, he only attend class 2 times, not because it's his fault, but every time he logged on, it said he cannot create a meeting by himself. Also, English language class, I couldn't tell when that was the last time he got any teacher for English language. However, I saw where work was posted and he does that. But majority of the classes now, Eliana Bishop's mom explained that sometimes teachers are not there, and I can attest to that because 2 times for social studies, I think it was only my son and probably 2 more students were in the class, and the teacher said that he can't teach the class with only 3 students. So that class was eliminated for the entire session. But what about if the child log on to classes and it said you can't create a meeting by yourself? What does the child do? What does the parent do? Because I am a teacher myself, but I work from home, so I can monitor my child with the device and know that he's logged on to classes. I was having challenges with his laptop, and I made sure to text his form teacher. She said that he's not absent from classes deliberately. It's because I'm having challenges with his laptop or his device. So what I'm saying, when you log into a specific class and it said that you can't create a meeting by yourself, and this is on more than one occasion, what does the child do? Does the child mark absent from that class? I would like to know.
All right. Thank you for that question. What are you sure that the child is using the correct email address?
Yes, my child is using it because, as I said before, sometimes the child may be logged in a specific class, and the other morning when he's supposed to have the classes, it's saying that he can't create a meeting on his own, or when he does, it's saying that the host is waiting on the host to join, that the host never joined. So I'm saying that what is the issue with that? The host never joined until the session is finished, and this is happening like from mid-October coming down. September wasn't a challenge. He logged in all his classes, but as I said before, with his vocational class, I couldn't tell when the last time he logged into class because he can't seems to get through with the 2 links that the teacher has sent.
All right. Can you share for me the vocation so I can?
His vocation area is auto engineer, mechanic, something like that, I think. But I'm not home at the moment where I could share. I think it's auto mechanic is in for that vocation. I'm not registering the teacher name in my head right now because I'm currently not at home for me to put up his device to tell you which the name of the class the teacher for the vocational area. But he hasn't been receiving anything.
All right, so I suggest what you do is you pass the information to the form teacher. And I will look and see what is happening directly. Now, when it comes to the English teacher, as Mrs. Hyman addressed earlier, we were without, that child is in
Yes, I understand that. No.
Right. Okay, so we were without, yes, we were without an English teacher for a little while. So you would see where work is posted and they're not having a teacher. But pass the name to the form teacher, and then I will check to see what is happening with that.
Mrs. Harris, may I say
thank
something?
you very much.
Yes, go ahead, Mrs. Spencer Ross.
All right, I want parents to be aware that not every day that a teacher is timetabled with the class, that they'll have a meet class, right? So work can be left in the classroom. The students need to practice to read what is on the stream page as well and the instruction that is left. Even now, for the past 3 weeks, some teachers have to go face-to-face with grade 11 to 13. So I want you to be aware of that. I myself had to teach today, so I had to leave work for my class. But I realize sometimes that even though I tell the students to read what is on the stream page, leave their attendance, do the work, they are not doing so. So I just want you to be aware that not every day a teacher may schedule this day for just assignments, right? The teacher doesn't necessarily have to meet with the class every time they are timetabled too, right? So I'm just like to point that out.
Okay, thank you, Mrs. Spencer Ross. I'm still seeing Cassell hand up. Do you still have another question? Do you have another question?
No, I'm sorry. I guess it's still on.
Okay, is there Anyone else that wants to ask a question? Any teacher that wants to make a comment?
Miss, just to remind the parents, if you're having any issues logging on, remember we have self-paced folders at school that you can pick up the work along the way. All right, so if the students are having issues, can't get onto the Wi-Fi, can't get the work, you can contact the school. Teachers leave work there for every subject.
Okay, right. Thank you, Mrs. Hyman. All right, it is now after 6. All right, so if we have no other question, I am going to be closing the meeting at this time. Let me just say thank you everyone for coming. I hope that we were able to address some of the issues you have, and I hope also that you would have learned something that will aid you in supervising and monitoring the children, making sure that they are completing what needs to be done. As I said before, there are a few persons that indicated that they were having challenges with the class. Just pass your name to the form teacher and I will check exactly to see what is happening with that particular class. All right. All right. If we have nothing else to say, let me just wish for you a very good rest of the evening, everyone. And thank you once again for coming. All right.